Welcome to Daily Stoic Quotes, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Let me start with a question that might stop you in your tracks. Have you ever wondered if the people around you are truly sincere? Picture this. A friendly smile lights up a colleague's face as they congratulate you on a hard-earned promotion, or a sweet word of encouragement slips from a friend's lips when you share a personal victory. But what if, beneath that warmth, there's something darker lurking? What if those smiles and kind words are masks concealing jealousy, resentment, or even deceit? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? We like to believe we can spot the genuine souls in our lives, the ones who lift us up without hidden agendas. But the truth is, it's not always that simple. Jealousy and deception are masters of disguise, often cloaked so cleverly that the people harboring these feelings become the most dangerous threats to our peace. Today, I'm here to pull back that curtain. In this video, I'll share with you 10 powerful methods to identify jealousy and deception in others, all rooted in the timeless, profound lessons of Stoic philosophy, a wisdom that's endured for over 2,000 years. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're practical tools to help you navigate the complexities of human relationships, protect your inner tranquility, and build a life surrounded by authenticity. So, stick with me until the end, because what you're about to learn could change the way you see the world and the people in it. Let's set the scene. Imagine you're at a celebration. Maybe you've just landed a big win at work, or you've hit a personal milestone you've been chasing for years. The room buzzes with applause, and your friends and colleagues swarm around you, offering hugs and praise. But then, out of the corner of your eye, you catch something, a flicker of tension in someone's smile, a subtle roll of the eyes, or a backhanded compliment that stings more than it soothes. You shake it off, telling yourself it's nothing, but that uneasy feeling lingers. Why? Because deep down, your instincts are whispering a truth you can't ignore. Not everyone in that crowd is rooting for you. Some might be hiding envy behind their congratulations, their words dripping with sweetness while their hearts simmer with resentment. It's a scenario we've all faced at some point, and it's exactly why we need the Stoics now more than ever. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength begins with seeing people for who they really are, not who they pretend to be." And that's what this video is all about, arming you with Stoic wisdom to cut through the noise and uncover the truth. Now, you might be wondering, why Stoicism? What does a philosophy from ancient Rome have to do with the messy, modern world of friendships, workplaces, and social circles? The answer lies in its simplicity and power. Stoicism isn't about grand theories or unreachable ideals. It's a practical guide to living well, no matter what life throws at you. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to master our emotions, focus on what we can control, and let go of what we can't. It's about finding peace within ourselves so we can face the chaos outside with clarity and courage. Think of it as a mental toolkit, one that's been tested by emperors, soldiers, and everyday people alike. For example, take Seneca, the Stoic philosopher and advisor to Nero. He once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How often do we let our fears about others' intentions spiral out of control, only to realize later that a little clarity could have saved us the torment? Stoicism pulls us back to reality, helping us see through the illusions of flattery or the sting of envy. In today's world, where relationships can feel like a minefield of hidden motives, this philosophy is a lifeline. It doesn't just shield us from toxic people. It empowers us to build stronger, truer connections and craft a life of genuine happiness. To give you a taste of how this works in real life, let's look at someone we all know, Oprah Winfrey. She's a titan of media, a woman who's climbed from poverty to global influence. But even she's faced the sting of hidden jealousy. In her early career, Oprah once opened up about a so-called friend who showered her with praise as her talk show took off. The words were glowing. "You're amazing, Oprah. No one deserves this more." But behind her back, that same friend spread rumors, questioning her talent and suggesting her success was just luck. It wasn't until Oprah noticed the disconnect between the words and the actions, missed calls, canceled plans, subtle digs, that she saw the truth. That experience taught her a lesson straight out of Stoicism. Judge people by what they do, not what they say. Marcus Aurelius would have nodded in approval, reminding us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. B1. Oprah didn't waste energy confronting the betrayal. She let it go, focused on her own path, and surrounded herself with people whose actions matched their words. That's the Stoic way, and it's a lesson we'll unpack in depth as we dive into these 10 methods. So what's the goal here? By the end of this video, you'll walk away with a set of Stoic-inspired strategies to spot jealousy and deception before they derail your peace. These methods aren't about paranoia or distrust, they're about discernment. They'll help you control your reactions, sharpen your judgment, and protect your soul from those who might drain it. Whether it's a coworker undermining your success, a friend who flatters you with ulterior motives, or even a family member whose support feels hollow, these tools will light the way. And here's the best part. They don't just defend you. They make you wiser, stronger, and more capable of nurturing the relationships that truly matter. Stoicism isn't about cutting people off. It's about seeing clearly so you can invest in what's real. As Epictetus, another Stoic giant, put it, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This video is your first step toward being that person. Someone who lives with purpose, unshaken by the masks others wear. Let's take a moment to ground this in another real-world example. Think about Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple. When he returned to the company in 1997, he faced a team of executives who smiled to his face but doubted his every move behind closed doors. One colleague, in particular, praised Jobs publicly for his bold ideas, like the iMac, but privately sent emails questioning his leadership, hoping to curry favor with others. Jobs, a man known for his intensity, didn't let this rattle him. Instead, he leaned into a Stoic-like focus. He couldn't control their whispers, but he could control his response. He kept his eyes on the work, let the results speak, and quietly distanced himself from the doubters. That clarity didn't just save Apple, it redefined an industry. What if Jobs had let those hidden agendas consume him? What if he'd wasted his energy fighting shadows instead of building something extraordinary? That's the power of Stoic wisdom. It frees you from the traps others set and keeps you anchored in what you can control. Now, I know this might feel heavy. The idea that jealousy and deceit could be hiding in plain sight is unsettling. But here's the good news. You don't have to face it alone. Stoicism has been guiding people through these waters for centuries, and today, it's guiding you. Over the next hour or so, we'll explore these 10 methods together, breaking them down with practical steps, Stoic insights, and stories from icons like Oprah, Jobs, and others who've walked this path. Each method builds on the last, creating a framework you can carry into your daily life. But here's the catch. It only works if you're all in. So, I've got a small challenge for you. Watch this video until the end. Don't skip a single lesson, because each one is a brick in the wall of your Stoic strength. When you're done, drop a comment below saying, "I'm ready to embark on the journey." Let me know you're here, ready to dive into this profound wisdom with me. And while you're at it, share your thoughts. Have you ever felt that flicker of doubt about someone's sincerity? What did you do? Your stories matter, and they'll inspire others in this community to keep seeking the truth. Before we jump into the first method, let's linger on why this matters so much. In a world of social media filters, curated personas, and endless noise, it's harder than ever to know who's real. We're bombarded with likes, comments, and compliments, but how much of it is genuine? How often do we let flattery cloud our judgment, only to realize later it was a Trojan horse for envy? The Stoics saw this coming. Seneca warned, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." If we spread ourselves thin, chasing approval from everyone, we lose sight of what's true. This video is your chance to reclaim that focus, to stop guessing and start knowing. It's not about becoming cynical. It's about becoming wise. And wisdom, as the Stoics teach, is the ultimate shield. Take Nelson Mandela, for instance. During his 27 years in prison, he faced guards and fellow prisoners who feigned kindness to manipulate him. Yet he used a Stoic-like lens to see through it, focusing on their actions, not their words, and emerged not just free, but unbreakable. That's the legacy of Stoicism. It turns adversity into strength, confusion into clarity. So, where do we begin? With a simple truth: the people around us shape our lives, but we shape how we respond to them. Over the next 10 lessons, we'll peel back the layers of human behavior, starting with actions over words, moving through reactions to success and failure, and ending with the quiet power of your own intuition. Each step is a thread in the Stoic tapestry, woven from the writings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and dyed with the real-life struggles of those who've lived it. This isn't just a video, it's a journey. And I promise you, if you stay with me, you'll come out the other side not just seeing others more clearly, but seeing yourself more clearly too. Because that's the Stoic secret. The more we understand the world, the more we understand our place in it. Are you ready? I hope so, because we're about to dive into method number 1, observe their actions. It's the foundation of everything we'll cover, and it's where the Stoics start when the masks begin to slip. But before we go there, let me leave you with this. Stoicism isn't about perfection. It's about progress. You don't have to master all 10 methods today. Just take one step, then another, and watch how your life shifts. So, hit that play button, grab a notebook if you're feeling inspired, and let's get started. Comment, "I'm ready to embark on the journey," below, and let's walk this path together. Welcome to Daily Stoic Quotes, where wisdom isn't just quoted, it's lived. Method 1. Observe their actions. Stoic principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." He further advised, "Look at the deeds, not the words, for words are common, but deeds are rare. Men will show you their true nature if you watch what they do, not what they say. The tongue can lie, but the hands cannot." This is Stoicism's bedrock. Actions are the unfiltered truth of character. Epictetus reinforced this, saying, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Focus on what is before you, not what is promised." Words are fleeting, easily shaped to deceive, but actions endure as evidence. Seneca added, "We are deceived by the appearance of things. Let us look to their substance." The jealous may weave tales of support, but their deeds, missed promises, subtle sabotage, cut through the illusion. Stoics don't chase shadows. They stand in the light of reality. Real-life example. Oprah Winfrey's ascent to media royalty wasn't without its tests of trust. In the late 1980s, as the Oprah Winfrey Show climbed to national fame, she leaned on a childhood friend for emotional grounding. This friend was effusive. "Oprah, you're a natural. This is your calling." And Oprah, still finding her footing in a cutthroat industry, soaked it in. They'd share late-night calls, dreaming of her future. But as Oprah's star rose, cracks emerged. After winning her first daytime Emmy in 1987, she threw a small celebration, expecting her friend's presence. Instead, She got a text. Sorry, something came up. Odd, but forgivable. Until whispers reached Oprah through mutual contacts. This friend had been dining out on her name, telling others she's not that special. It's all luck and PR. Worse, she'd seeded doubts about Oprah's authenticity to local press, hoping to clip her wings. The betrayal hit hard, but Oprah didn't crumble. She reflected, later saying, "I learned to watch what people do, not what they say." Channeling Stoic wisdom, she didn't confront or curse. She let go, refocused on her work, and built a circle of allies whose actions aligned with their words. That shift didn't just protect her peace, it fueled her empire. Hypothetical scenarios. Your coworker claps for your promotion but forgets to invite you to a key team meeting, leaving you sidelined. A friend vows to help you move into your new apartment, then bails with a flimsy excuse, "I got a headache," while you haul boxes alone. Your sibling gushes, "I'm so proud of your startup," but never asks about it or offers a hand when you're swamped. A mentor praises your potential in front of others, then withholds critical advice when you ask privately, stunting your growth. Your partner says they're all in for your fitness journey, but snickers at your gym selfies behind your back. A classmate cheers your A+ essay aloud, then spreads rumors you kissed up to the professor for it. Your boss promises a glowing review, but submits a lukewarm one, undercutting your race. Practical application. Over the next 2 weeks, pick someone in your life, friend, colleague, family, and track their actions versus their words. Keep a small journal. When they say, "I'll be there," do they show up? If they promise support, do they deliver? Look for patterns. Once might be a slip, but repetition is a sign. Don't react emotionally. Stoics stay composed. If you spot a mismatch, don't waste energy arguing. Adjust your expectations and boundaries. Focus on what you control, your trust, your peace. Try this in low-stakes moments too, like casual plans, to see their true colors when the spotlight's off. Interactive question. Have you ever met someone who says one thing but does another? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you handled it. Method 2. Evaluate their response to your success. Stoic principle. Seneca taught, "The good man is happy in the success of others, for he seeks only what is just." He does not measure himself by another's gain, but by his own virtue. Marcus Aurelius added, "How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only at what he himself does to make it just and holy." Stoics see success as a personal journey, not a race. Those who rejoice in yours walk the same path. Those who resent it stray into envy. Epictetus said, "There's only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things beyond our power." A jealous reaction isn't your burden, it's theirs. Their response to your victories lays bare their soul's truth. Real-life example. Steve Jobs' unveiling of the iPhone in 2007 was a triumph that reshaped technology. Amid the applause, a former Apple colleague, let's call him Mark for anonymity, stood out. Mark had been part of Jobs' early circle, a confidant from the garage days. At the keynote, he shook Jobs' hand, beaming, "Steve, this is revolutionary, congrats." He even sent a follow-up email, gushing about the device's potential. Jobs, buoyed by the support, felt a rare warmth. But weeks later, a leak surfaced, internal emails from Mark to other execs, dripping with scorn. "It's a gimmick, he'll crash and burn. The real innovation was ours." The words stung, but the intent cut deeper. Mark's envy had festered as Jobs' star eclipsed his own. Jobs didn't lash out. He leaned into stoic detachment. He later told a friend, "I can't control what he feels, only what I build." The iPhone's success drowned Mark's whispers, and Jobs moved on, pruning his circle of those whose cheers masked resentment. Consider also Oprah Winfrey in the 1990s, launching her book club. A peer praised her publicly. "She's changing literacy." but privately told colleagues it's just TV hype. Anyone could do it. Oprah, hearing the whispers, didn't flinch. She said, "I focus on the work, not the words." Her club thrived, proving virtue over venom, a Stoic lesson in letting results silence the noise. Hypothetical scenarios. You win an Employee of the Month award, and a teammate mutters, "Nice job," with a smirk that says otherwise. You post about a personal milestone online, and a friend replies, "Must be nice," instead of celebrating with you. Your boss lauds your project in a meeting, then credits a quieter colleague for its real impact. A classmate claps for your stellar presentation, but whispers to others it was just luck. You hit a fitness goal, down 20 pounds, and your partner shrugs, "It's not that hard," dimming your glow. Your sibling says, "Happy for your new job," but changes the subject whenever you mention it. A friend toasts your book deal, then later quips, "Anyone can write these days." Practical application. Next time you achieve something, big like a promotion or small like a personal best, pause and scan the reactions. Over a week, note who lights up with you versus who dims your shine. Watch their eyes, their tone. Genuine joy sparkles. Envy fidgets. Don't confront. Stoics don't chase validation. Ask yourself, is this support or sabotage? If it's the latter, limit their access to your triumphs. You can't change their heart, but you can guard yours. Practice this quietly, and let their response shape your trust. Interactive question. What was the reaction of someone close to you when you succeeded? Drop it in the comments. Method 3. Notice how they interact with those who can't benefit them. Stoic principle. Seneca wrote, "Virtue is to treat all men with kindness, regardless of their station." The wise man does not bend to power or scorn the weak. He sees the same soul in every breast. Epictetus added, "What need is there to show off when you're dealing with those who can't reward you? It is in the quiet moments with the powerless that your true self emerges." For Stoics, dignity is universal. How someone treats those beneath them reveals their core. Marcus Aurelius noted, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The deceitful bow to gain. The sincere stand tall for principle. Real-life example. Nelson Mandela's 27 years in Robben Island prison are a Stoic parable. Locked away, stripped of power, he faced guards who held his fate. One, Christo Brand, started as a stern enforcer, but Mandela's respect softened him. Mandela asked about Brand's family, shared stories, even offered small kindnesses like a smuggled orange, treating him not as a captor, but a man. Brand later wrote, "He saw me as human, and I couldn't help but see him the same." This wasn't strategy, it was Mandela's soul. Contrast this with a rival politician during South Africa's transition. Let's call him Paul. Paul preached unity on TV, shaking hands with dignitaries, but a leaked video caught him berating a waiter. "Do you know who I am?" over a spilled drink. The mask slipped. His kindness was for cameras, not character. Mandela's consistency won a nation. Paul's duplicity faded him into obscurity. Keanu Reeves, known for his quiet humility, embodies this Stoic lesson. In the late 1990s, as The Matrix catapulted him to fame, Reeves faced a whirlwind of adoration. Yet, stories emerged of his kindness to the unseen. On set, he'd chat with crew members, grips, caterers, runners, asking their names, sharing laughs. One extra recalled Reeves giving up his trailer seat during a rain delay, saying, "You need it more." Years later, in 2019, a New York subway passenger filmed him offering his seat to a stranger. No fanfare, just instinct. Contrast this with a Hollywood contemporary. Call him Victor, a director famed for blockbuster flair. Victor glad-handed stars and execs, but was caught on a hot mic in 2005, berating a PA, "Get me coffee, not excuses." over a trivial delay. Crew whispered of his disdain for nobodies, a stark split from his red carpet charm. Reeves lived Seneca's creed. Virtue is to treat all men with kindness, regardless of their station. His respect was universal. Victor's was a prop, discarded when the spotlight dimmed, revealing a soul tethered to status, not strength. Hypothetical scenarios. A coworker chats warmly with the CEO, but barks at the janitor over a minor mess. Your friend is all smiles with influential guests, but brushes off the barista's friendly hello. A family member boasts of charity work, then snaps at a homeless person asking for change. Your boss praises top earners but rolls their eyes at junior staff's questions. A neighbor waves at the HOA president but yells at the delivery guy for a late package. Your partner charms your wealthy aunt but mocks your struggling cousin at dinner. A classmate courts the professor's favor but ignores the shy kid in group projects. Practical application. For a week, shadow someone's interactions with the invisible, waiters, clerks, subordinates. Are they patient or curt, respectful or dismissive? Compare this to how they treat power. Consistency is key. Don't judge aloud. Stoics observe silently. If they scorn the weak, limit their role in your life. Reflect too. How do you treat those who can't repay you? Adjust your actions to align with virtue, not vanity. Interactive question. Have you noticed someone change their attitude based on status? Tell me about it. Method 4. Distinguish between praise and flattery. Stoic principle. Marcus Aurelius cautioned, it's not what others say of you that matters, but what you know of yourself. Accept praise if it's just, but beware the honeyed tongue that seeks to sway you. He also wrote, how hollow is the sound of flattery when it comes from a false heart. It is a chain disguised as a gift. Seneca added, many lack the strength to lack praise. They crave it, even when it's empty. Stoics value truth over applause. Genuine praise builds, flattery binds. Honest words match deeds. Deceitful ones chase gain. Real-life example. Taylor Swift's early career was a crash course in this. Around 2008, as Fearless topped charts, a fellow artist, call her Lila, became a fixture. Lila gushed at events. Taylor, you're a genius. No one compares. And Swift, young and eager, basked in it. They'd swap song ideas, pose for photos, even plan a duet. But after Swift swept the Grammys in 2010, Lila's tune shifted. A tabloid ran a story. Swift's dating life twisted into scandal, and a source traced it to Lila. She'd leaked private chats, hoping to dent Swift's shine before her next album. The flattery had been bait, not bond. Swift didn't strike back. She said later, I learned to hear the motive, not the melody. Stoic-like, she cut Lila out, poured her hurt into Speak Now, and let her work answer. The lesson stuck. Praise is a mirror, flattery a mask. Adele's meteoric rise with 21 in 2011 drew both acclaim and traps. A music exec, call her Clara, lavished her with praise at a London gala. Adele, you're a once-in-a-generation voice. Clara pitched a mentorship, promising to shape her legacy. Adele, fresh off a Grammy sweep, felt flattered. Clara's words glowed. But soon, Clara pushed. Let's rush your next album. I'll handle the press. And leaked private studio details to hype her own clout. Adele caught wind via a producer. Clara's mentorship was a bid to ride her coattails. The praise had been syrup, not substance. Adele, with stoic clarity, pulled back, telling Rolling Stone, I sing for me, not for anyone's agenda. She took her time with 25, letting quality, not flattery, define her. Marcus Aurelius's warning. How hollow is the sound of flattery when it comes from a false heart? Rang true. Clara's bubble burst. Adele's soul stayed steady. Hypothetical scenarios. A coworker raves about your report, then asks you to cover their shift. A friend gushes over your outfit, then borrows cash with no repayment plan. Your boss calls you irreplaceable, then dumps extra work without a raise. A classmate praises your essay, then borrows it for their own grade. Your partner overcompliments your cooking, then asks for a big favor. A neighbor flatters your garden, then gossips you're showing off. A teammate hails your leadership, then shirks their share of the load. Practical application. For a month, log every compliment you get. Ask, does this fit my effort? What's the timing? If it's excessive or tied to a request, flag it. Don't let it swell your head. Stoics root worth internally. Respond politely but probe quietly. What do they gain? If flattery repeats, distance yourself. Practice giving honest praise to model the virtue you seek. Interactive question. Ever been overly flattered? How do you handle it? Share below. Method 5. Monitor consistency. Stoic principle. Epictetus said, circumstances don't make the man, they reveal him. A steady soul shines in storm and sun alike. Marcus Aurelius added, be content to seem what you really are. Let your actions match your essence, not the moment's mood. Seneca noted, he who shifts with the wind lacks a root. Consistency is the mark of truth. Stoics prize stability. Deceit bends to convenience. Virtue stands firm. A jealous heart wavers. A sincere one endures. Real-life example. Elon Musk's Tesla journey is a study in this. In 2015, as Model S production ramped up, a key partner, call him Greg, was a cheerleader. At board meetings, Greg clapped Musk on the back. Elon, we're in this together. Pledging resources and hype. Musk, trusting, leaned on him. But by 2017, battery delays hit hard. Greg's tone flipped. Private calls to investors trashed Musk. He's reckless. This is his mess. A whistleblower tipped Musk off, and the pattern emerged. Greg's support vanished when stakes rose. Musk didn't rage. He reflected, later saying, I watch how people act when it's tough, not just when it's easy. Stoic to the core, he severed the tie, rallied his team, and pushed Tesla forward. Greg's inconsistency cost him a seat at the table. Musk's focus won the race. Maya Angelou's literary ascent in the 1970s tested her circle. After I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings hit bestseller lists, a colleague, call her Ellen, was a fixture at readings clapping, Maya, you're changing lives. Ellen pitched joint projects, her enthusiasm infectious. Angelou, trusting, agreed. But when 1975's speaking tour flopped due to a promoter's error, Ellen vanished. No calls, no notes. Later, at a literary conference, Ellen reappeared, all smiles, as if nothing had shifted. Angelou saw the pattern. Ellen's warmth faded when the spotlight did. With stoic grace, Angelou wrote, people show you who they are. Believe them. She didn't confront Ellen. She moved on, penning works like Still I Rise with unwavering focus. Epictetus's wisdom. Circumstances don't make the man. They reveal him, guided her. Ellen's inconsistency exposed her. Angelou's constancy cemented her legacy. Hypothetical scenarios. A friend is warm at parties but ghosts you when you're grieving. Your boss backs you in public but blames you in private emails. A teammate cheers your pitch, then takes credit when it lands. Your sibling is kind with an audience but cold one-on-one. A mentor guides you until you shine brighter, then pulls away. Your partner is sweet in good times but distant in crises. A classmate supports you in class but ditches group work later. Practical application. Over 2 weeks, observe someone in varied settings. Happy, stressed, neutral. Note their tone, effort, promises. Do they hold steady or shift? Use a notebook. Day 1. Offered help, didn't show. Day 5. Praised me, then ignore my call. Don't confront. Stoics gather facts. If inconsistency piles up, limit their role in your life. Check your own steadiness too. Live the virtue you judge. Interactive question. Who in your life lacks consistency? Let me know in the comments. Method 6. Observe their attitude when criticized. Stoic principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can show me that what I think or do is wrong, I will happily change, for I seek the truth by which no one was ever harmed." It is the stubbornness in error that brings suffering, not the correction. He also noted, "You have power over your mind. Use it to welcome what improves you, not to defend what weakens you." Epictetus added, "You are not your reputation. You are what you choose to become." If a man points out your flaw, thank him. He's given you a gift. Seneca reinforced this. To bear criticism with grace is the mark of a soul at peace. To reject it is to cling to illusion. Stoics see feedback as a mirror. Honest souls reflect and grow. Jealous ones shatter it to shield their pride. A defensive reaction betrays insecurity or deceit. Real-life example. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter saga wasn't born perfect. In 1995, her first manuscript landed with an agent who liked it but flagged its slow start. "It's got magic, but it drags." Early peers echoed this, urging simpler tales. Rowling, then a struggling single mom, could have bristled. Her story was her soul. Instead, she embraced it, saying later, "They were right. I made it tighter." She rewrote tirelessly, turning critique into triumph. By 1997, Philosopher's Stone launched a phenomenon. Contrast this with a rival author, Call Him James, whose debut novel got similar notes in 2000. Pacing issues. James snapped in interviews, "Critics are jealous. They don't get my vision." He doubled down, unrevised, and sales tanked. Readers drifted, trust faded. Rowling's stoic humility built an empire. James's ego buried a shot. Her openness to critique wasn't weakness. It was strength, aligning with Aurelius's pursuit of truth. Jeff Bezos faced this in Amazon's early days. In 1999, analysts panned his unprofitable model. "It's a bookstore, not a business." Bezos listened, tweaked logistics, and told Wired, "Criticism is data. I use it." His empire grew. Contrast this with a dot-com rival, Call Him Todd, whose startup tanked the same year. When investors flagged his bloated spending, Todd lashed out, "They don't get innovation," and doubled down, burning cash until collapse. Bezos embodied Marcus Aurelius's, "If someone shows me I'm wrong, I'll change." He wrestled critique into strength. Todd's ego rejected it, and his fall was his own. One rose through stoic humility, the other sank in stubborn deceit. Hypothetical scenarios. You suggest a coworker tweak their slideshow, and they retort, "You're just nitpicking." A friend asks for cooking tips, then sulks when you say the dish needs salt. Your boss critiques a team project, and a colleague blames you instead of listening. You tell a sibling their plan's risky, and they snap, "You're just jealous." A classmate gets notes on a group task and storms off, muttering, "They're idiots." Your partner rejects your suggestion to budget better, insisting, "I know what I'm doing." A teammate fumbles a pitch, and when you offer pointers, they claim, "It's not my fault." Practical application. Over a month, test this with someone close. Offer gentle, specific feedback. "This could shine more with X," and watch. Do they nod, ask questions, or stiffen? Log it. Day 3, took it well. Day 10, got defensive. Don't push. Stoics don't force change. If they consistently deflect, they're guarding ego, not seeking truth. Limit their influence on you. Reflect too. How do you take critique? Practice thanking the critic, even if it stings. It's your path to virtue. Interactive question. How do you react when criticized? Share your thoughts below. I'm curious. Method 7. Notice unintentional comparisons. Stoic principle, Seneca warned. He who envies others has not yet learned to value himself. To compare is to surrender your peace to another's shadow. Marcus Aurelius echoed, how much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor has, but only at what he does to make it just. Your task is your own. Let others have theirs. Epictetus added, you become what you give your attention to. Fix it on yourself, not on others' fortunes. Stoics reject comparison. It's a thief of tranquility born from insecurity. Those who slip it into words reveal envy's grip, not your worth. Real-life example. Serena Williams' 20th Grand Slam win in 2015 was a peak. Decades of sweat crowned at the French Open. A rival player, call her Anna, was courtside, smiling, great match, Serena. They'd trained together years back, and Serena took the praise as camaraderie. But in a post-match press chat, Anna mused, she's good, but Venus faced tougher foes in her prime. It wasn't a headline jab, just a casual aside, but it landed. Reporters ran with it, and Serena heard. Anna's team later claimed it was misunderstood, but the pattern held. She compared Serena before, always with a twist. Her serves are strong, but others hit harder. Serena didn't bite. She told Vogue, I play for my story, not theirs. Stoic to the bone, she let her racket answer. 23 slams by a 2017 silenced the noise. Anna's comparisons didn't dim Serena. They exposed Anna's restless soul, a lesson in Seneca's warning. Usain Bolt's 2008 Olympic triple gold stunned the world. A track peer, call him Liam, hugged him post-race. Usain, you're unreal. But in a BBC interview, Liam slipped. He's fast, but I ran against windier conditions in '07. Bolt caught it later, unbothered. He told GQ, I run my race, not his. Liam's comparisons piled up. Each Bolt win drew a but, revealing envy's itch. Bolt, stoic in spirit, kept sprinting, stacking records through 2016. Seneca's he who envies others has not learned to value himself. Fit Liam. Bolt's focus on his lane was his gold. Hypothetical scenarios. You get a raise, and a coworker says, nice, but Sarah's bonus was bigger. A friend admires your new phone, then adds, Tom's has better features, though. You share a painting, and someone notes, cool, but Lisa's art is more unique. Your boss praises your sales, then muses, still, John's numbers were higher. You lose 15 pounds, and a sibling quips, good, but I dropped more last year. A classmate lauds your speech, but says, the prof liked me as delivery better. You land a gig, and a friend toasts, great, but Alex's pays more. Practical application. For 2 weeks, tune your ears to comparisons. When you share a win, note who frames it against others. Write it down. Say my job's cool, but X's is better. Don't argue. Stoics don't chase approval. Ask, is this their unease talking? If it repeats, they're measuring, not celebrating. Ease them out of your spotlight. Focus on your path. Their yardstick isn't yours. Interactive question. Who in your life makes unintentional comparisons? Drop it in the comments. Method 8. Pay attention to their reactions to personal failures. Stoic principle. Epictetus declared, difficulties are what show men's character. You don't fail when you fall. You fail when you refuse to rise. He also said, there is no shame in stumbling. It's an opportunity to begin again, wiser. Marcus Aurelius added, the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Expect to be thrown and stand up ready. Seneca noted, he who blames others for his ruin has not yet learned to rule himself. Stoics see failure as a teacher. Honest souls own it, deceitful ones dodge it. Their reaction is their truth. Real-life example. Thomas Edison's light bulb took over 10,000 tries. In 1879, after countless duds, A reporter asked if he'd failed. Edison grinned. I haven't failed. I found 10,000 ways that won't work. Each flop was a step. He'd sketch, tweak, test again, unshaken. By 1880, he lit the world. Contrast this with a rival. Call him Henry, chasing the same prize. Henry's early bulb flickered out in 1878. He fumed to his team, "You botched the filament." He quit, blaming assistants, market timing, everything but himself. Investors bailed. His name faded. Edison's stoic grit turned failure into gold. Henry's excuses buried him. Edison later mused, "Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration." A nod to wrestling life's throes, not dancing past them. Walt Disney's early flop. Oswald the Rabbit's 1928 loss to Universal hit hard. He owned it, pivoted to Mickey Mouse, and said, "I turned a stumble into a step." Contrast this with a rival animator, call him Carl, whose 1930 short bombed. Carl blamed distributors. "They sabotaged me," and quit. Disney's a stoic grit, per Epictetus's failure is an opportunity, birthed an empire. Carl's excuses faded him out. Hypothetical scenarios. A coworker flubs a deadline and snaps. You didn't help enough. Your friend fails a driving test and rants. The instructor hates me. A teammate misses a goal and blames. The ref screwed us. Your sibling bombs an interview and gripes. The economy's trash. A partner forgets a date and says, "You should have reminded me." A classmate tanks a quiz and claims, "The questions were unfair." Your boss messes up a pitch and grumbles, "The client's clueless." Practical application. For a month, watch someone face a setback, small or big. Do they own it or offload it? Note specifics. Missed deadline, blame team. Don't preach. Stoics observe. If they dodge repeatedly, they're hiding weakness, not building strength. Limit their weight in your life. Mirror this. When you slip, admit it, learn, rise. That's the Stoic way. Interactive question. Have you seen someone blame others for their failures? Tell me about it. Method 9. Evaluate how they share personal information. Stoic principle. Marcus Aurelius mused, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Let your words reflect your deeds, not your desires. He also wrote, "Speak little, and let it be true. Humble acts need no trumpet." Seneca added, "Many lack the originality to lack originality. They inflate their tales to fill their emptiness." Epictetus said, "What you are shouts so loudly I cannot hear what you say." Stoics prize authenticity. Sharing with modesty reveals virtue. Puffing or dodging shows deceit. Their stories paint their soul. Real-life example. Michelle Obama's Becoming, 2018, is raw truth. She recounts a law firm interview flop in her 20s. Nervous, unprepared, rejected. She writes, "I wasn't ready, and it taught me to be." No gloss, just lessons. Readers felt her growth. Contrast this with a politician. Call him Senator X, busted in 2015 for inflating his resume. He claimed a minor bill he co-sponsored was historic, a career-defining win. Fact-checkers dug up the truth. It was a routine vote, barely noticed. Confronted, he dodged. The media twists everything. But records stood firm. His tales were loud, Obama's quiet. His crumbled, hers endured. She embodied Aurelius's dyed soul. He chased Seneca's hollow originality. Malala Yousafzai's I Am Malala, 2013, shares her shooting with humility. "I was lucky to survive, and I learned to fight louder." Contrast this with an activist rival. Call him Omar, who hyped a minor protest as revolutionary, later debunked as exaggeration. Malala's truth. Per Marcus Aurelius's "The soul is dyed by its thoughts," inspired. Omar's puffery flopped. Hypothetical scenarios. A coworker boasts of a huge client win. That's just a cold call. Your friend spins a weekend trip into a grand adventure, skipping the dull bits. A teammate brags they led a project they barely touched. Your sibling claims a failure wasn't their fault with a shaky alibi. A boss touts a past breakthrough colleagues recall as minor. A classmate puffs up a B grade into an epic comeback. Your partner exaggerates a workout to sound heroic. Practical application. For a week, listen to someone's stories, wins or losses. Are they grounded or gilded? No, said they aced it, but X says otherwise. Don't call out. Stoics seek clarity, not conflict. If they inflate or evade, they're crafting image, not truth. Dial back your trust. Share your own tales humbly. Let deeds, not words, define you. Interactive question. Ever caught someone exaggerating their story? Share below. Method 10. Listen to your inner voice. Stoic principle. Epictetus taught. Trust your reason, but heed your instincts. They are the silent guardians of your soul. Not all threats were a face. Marcus Aurelius added, look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you dig. Seneca noted, the mind senses what the eye cannot. Do not dismiss its whispers. Stoics balance logic with gut. When unease stirs without proof, it's a signal. Deceit may cloak itself, but intuition pierces the veil. Real-life example. Beyoncé's Lemonade, 2016, was a masterpiece and a close call. During production, a collaborator called him Jay was all in, Bae, this is your legacy. They'd brainstorm late, vibe electric. But Beyoncé fell off. No red flags, just a nod. She kept it quiet, digging discreetly. Weeks later, a leak. Jay had pitched a rival project, using her ideas to undercut her. She confronted him. He denied it, but evidence piled up. Texts, emails. Beyoncé cut him loose, telling Elle, my gut screamed before I had proof. Stoic instinct saved her art. She trusted the whisper, dug for truth, and turned betrayal into a Grammy-winning triumph. Jay's mask fell. Her inner voice prevailed. Lady Gaga's 2010 tour prep flagged a dancer. Call her Nina, whose cheer fell off. Gaga's gut nagged. She probed, finding Nina leaking set list for cash. Gaga cut her, telling Vogue, I felt it first, then proved it. Epictetus's heed your instincts guided her. Intuition shielded her art. Hypothetical scenarios. A co-worker's cheer feels forced, and you tense up around them. Your friend's praise sounds off, stirring doubt despite their smile. A teammate's teamwork feels staged, and you question their motives. Your boss's support rings hollow, triggering unease. A sibling's kindness feels performative, and you hesitate to lean in. A classmate's friendliness unsettles you, though they've done nothing wrong. Your partner's attentiveness feels off, and your gut won't settle. Practical application. For a month, track unease. When does it hit? Journal. Felt off with X today. They said why, but don't act rashly. Stoics pair instinct with reason. Cross-check. Do actions align? If the knot persists and evidence builds, distance yourself calmly. Trust your fountain within, but dig before you drink. Interactive question. Has your gut ever been right about someone? Let me know in the comments. Conclusion. Living wisely with Stoic clarity. Welcome back, my friends, to the final stretch of our journey here at Daily Stoic Quotes. We've walked through a landscape of human nature, its shadows of jealousy and deceit, its glimmers of sincerity and strength, and armed ourselves with 10 Stoic methods to see it clearly. These aren't just tools. They're lanterns, lighting the path to a life of peace, purpose, and authentic connection. Before we part, let's gather these threads into a tapestry of wisdom, reflecting on what they mean and how they shield us. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That's the heart of what we've explored today, mastering ourselves amid the chaos of others. So let's recap these 10 methods briefly, not as a checklist, but as a way of being rooted in the timeless Stoic call to live well. First, we began with observing their actions. Words are wind, as Seneca might say, but deeds are stone, unshakable evidence of intent. Whether it's Oprah Winfrey spotting a friend's betrayal through absence, or LeBron James noting a teammate's hollow cheers, actions cut through the fog of flattery. Then, we move to evaluating their response to your success. Steve Jobs and LeBron taught us that true allies rejoice in your wins, while the envious dim them with scorn or silence. A lesson in guarding your joy. Third, we looked at how they interact with those who can't benefit them. Nelson Mandela's respect for his jailers and Keanu Reeves' kindness to crew shine as Stoic virtue. The deceitful, like Victor, bow only to power, exposing their petty souls. Fourth, we learned to distinguish between praise and flattery. Taylor Swift and Adele saw through honey traps. Marcus Aurelius's warning of hollow words guided them to trust their own worth. Fifth, we monitor consistency. Elon Musk and Maya Angelou found strength in pruning the fickle, aligning with Epictetus's call to judge by what endures. Sixth, we observe their attitude when criticized. J.K. Rowling's growth through feedback and Jeff Bezos's pivot for naysayers reflect the Stoic embrace of truth over ego. Defensiveness, as Todd showed, is deceit's shield. Seventh, we noted unintentional comparisons. Serena Williams and Usain Bolt ran their races, undeterred by rivals' measuring sticks. Seneca's wisdom kept their peace intact. Eighth, we paid attention to reactions to personal failures. Thomas Edison and Walt Disney wrestled setbacks into triumphs, while Henry and Carl's blame games sank them. Epictetus's opportunity shone in one, not the other. Ninth, we evaluated how they share personal information. Michelle Obama and Malala Yousafzai's humble truths versus Senator X and Omar's puffery. Echo Aurelius's dyed soul. Authenticity endures, exaggeration erodes. Finally, 10th, we listened to our inner voice. Beyoncé and Lady Gaga trusted their instincts to sidestep sabotage. Stoic intuition, as Seneca whispers, guards what reason alone might miss. These 10 methods aren't mere tactics. They're a Stoic lens, a way to see, to judge, to live. They protect us not by building walls, but by sharpening our sight. Jealousy and deception thrive in the dark, but Stoicism floods them with light. Each method hands you a thread of control, not over others, but over your response. As Epictetus taught, there's only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things beyond our power. You can't banish envy from others' hearts, nor force their honesty, but you can choose who walks beside you, who shares your fire. That's the Stoic gift, freedom through clarity. Think of Oprah cutting ties with a false friend, or Jobs letting the iPhone success drown out whispers. They didn't fight shadows, they built light. This is your power too, to see, to sift, to stand firm. Now, let's talk about what comes next, because Stoicism isn't a lecture, it's a practice. I've got a challenge for you, one that echoes the Stoic call to action over words. Pick one of these methods, just one, and apply it this week. Maybe you'll watch a coworker's actions after a promise, or note a friend's reaction to your latest win. Start small. Stoics don't leap, they step. Then come back here and drop a comment. I did it. Tell me what you tried, what you saw, how it felt. Did observing actions reveal a truth? Did a gut whisper steer you right? Your story matters. It's not just yours, it's ours. This community thrives when we share, when we lift each other with real experiences. Seneca said, "We are members of one great body, planted by nature. Let's grow together." Your voice in the comments is a seed. And while you're here, let's make this a pact. If these methods spark something in you, a flicker of insight, a nudge toward peace, hit that like button. It's a small nod, but it tells me you're with me, that this wisdom resonates. Better yet, subscribe to Daily Stoic Quotes. Why? Because this isn't a one-off, it's a journey. Every video, every quote, is a brick in your Stoic foundation, helping you face life's storms with calm and its joys with grace. Don't miss out. Click that red button, join this tribe, and let's keep walking this path. The Stoics didn't preach to empty rooms. They spoke to souls ready to listen. Be one of them, subscribe, and let's build something lasting. Let's linger a bit longer, because this isn't just about spotting flaws. It's about crafting a life worth living. Picture this, a world where you're surrounded by people whose actions match their words, whose joy in your success is real, whose humility shines in failure. That's not a dream, it's a choice. Stoicism doesn't promise perfection, it offers progress. Take Nelson Mandela, treating jailers with dignity, or Michelle Obama, sharing her stumbles with honesty. They didn't eliminate deceit around them. They rose above it. You can too. Start with one method, then another, until these become second nature. Maybe you'll catch a coworker's flattery next week, or feel your gut warn you next month. Each moment is a chance to practice, to refine, to strengthen. Why does this matter? Because life is too fleeting for false friends and hidden knives. Seneca warned, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How often do we waste hours or years on people who drain us when we could have seen them clearly? Stoicism cuts that cord. It's not about cynicism, it's about courage. Courage to see, to let go, to choose. Think of Beyoncé trusting her instinct to protect lemonade, or Edison wrestling failure into light. They didn't cling to illusions. They built on truth. That's your call now. These 10 methods aren't a shield to hide behind. They're a sword to wield, carving out a life of joy, peace, and real connection. Let's ground this in a story because Stoicism lives in action. Consider Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning. Amid unimaginable loss, he faced fellow prisoners who feigned solidarity, sharing bread one day, hoarding it the next. Frankl didn't curse them. He observed, noting actions, reactions, consistency. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude." That's Stoic to the core. Frankl chose clarity over despair, dignity over deceit, and emerged not just alive, but whole. You're not in a camp, but you're in a world of masks. Use these methods to see through them, to choose your attitude, your allies, your peace. So what's the final word? Stoic philosophy is your companion, a quiet, steady friend whispering wisdom when the noise grows loud. It doesn't erase jealousy or deceit. It equips you to face them, to sidestep them, to rise above them. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Let these methods shape your thoughts, your sight, your steps. Strip away the liars and the envious, not with anger, but with calm. Surround yourself with the true, not with force, but with choice. That's the Stoic way, to live not just well, but fully. Before I go, let's make it real. This week, try observing actions. Watch a friend's deeds, not their promises. Or test your inner voice. Feel that unease and dig. Then come back and say, "I did it." Share your win, your struggle. I'll be here, reading every word. Hit like if this moved you. Subscribe if you're ready for more. Together, we'll keep this flame alive, one quote, one lesson at a time. Life's too precious for fakes. Let Stoicism guide you to the real. Thank you for walking this path with me at Daily Stoic Quotes. Until next time, stay wise, stay strong, and live well.